You don't need a content calendar because content calendars are for influencers, not for business owners trying to sell something online. And if you keep posting content consistently in a lane where you don't belong, you're not going to stand out, you're not going to get any leads, and more importantly, you're most likely going to burn out in this journey. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing exactly how I fixed a coach's branding within 90 minutes. And she blew up from 6,000 to 22,000 followers and got 4 coaching clients. So if you're a business owner and you're trying to get out of the constant hamster wheel, this video is for you. So a little backstory of my client. This is her Instagram channel. So she is a KonMari consultant. There's this Japanese lady on Netflix where she goes to people's houses and help declutter. She has a program where you can become a certified consultant yourself. So my friend Hany took this course and now she's teaching the same thing for her network. So Hany knew the importance of getting on YouTube because she's selling a high-ticket coaching service and she's getting a little tired of posting content on Instagram. So when we started working together, I told her very bluntly, hey, you got to get on YouTube if you're selling high-ticket coaching. And she says, yeah, I understand that, but YouTube seems like a lot of work and it's just a little too much for me to start. And then I said, okay, I don't want you to quit halfway. So where are you comfortable making content right now? She says, well, Instagram, because I'm on Instagram all day, all long. And I'm like, okay, why don't we start with Instagram so you're comfortable making videos there, and once you make a couple of videos and you feel like you're ready to get on YouTube, then we can revisit this plan. What do you think? And she said, okay. So prior to working with me, she was posting Instagram carousels. She wasn't making videos before she worked with me. So if we scroll down here, we can see her progress. So there you go. She was making these carousels, which has not been performing very well for her. And then when we started working together, she made a few videos, but it didn't really perform very well. So what I did to help her was I did a bit of a competitor analysis to look at what her competitors are doing. So what I did was I did a bit of market analysis where I searched for other KonMari consultants. And this is the original Japanese lady, 800K followers. So I did a little bit of digging and look at her competitors. And what I found was that there were a bunch of other KonMari consultants who took the same course as my client did, and they all make content that looks exactly the same and like a ripoff of the original Japanese lady. Unfortunately, at the time, this is what Hany was doing. She was kind of ripping off the original, and then she's just blending in. So what I proposed to her was, Hany, we need to get on a call because I want to fish out your backstory because we want to figure out what makes you unique. So we got on the call and then I asked her a bunch of questions like how she even got started with this whole thing, and she was a little hesitant to share. The more we talked, the more she got comfortable with me, and then we started to peel the layer one by one. So she started life as a pilot, and in her group of pilot friends, they all make a lot of money and they all spend a lot as well. In her entourage, she felt pressured to keep up with the Joneses. When everybody buys this thing, she feels like she has to buy it too. So she ends up buying all this stuff, all her money's gone, and her house is full, cluttered with these expensive gifts that she never even opened for years. So there was a tipping point where she decided, hey, you know what? I can't live my life like this, where I make a lot of money, but they all gone the minute I get my salary. And then to buy all this stuff just to impress people, and I don't even use this stuff. So somehow this whole KonMari thing got into her radar. She felt it was interesting. She joined the course. She applied it for herself to declutter her own home. Not only was her house decluttered, there was a really cool side effect where now that she stopped buying all these junk, she can actually save a lot of money. So that's when I said, Hany, that's your unique selling point. Because everybody else is telling, hey, clean your house like this, tidy your wardrobe like this. But nobody in the market, from my research, is saying, hey, do this tidying thing, and concurrently, it's gonna fix your personal finance. That's two niches that are different, but somehow they complement each other in this case, and she's the living proof of that actually working. So she was like, oh yeah, that makes sense because nobody else is doing this, and I actually live the thing that I claim to be. So what happened was she started to own this niche of KonMari and personal finance. And her videos started to perform a little bit better. Not great, but a little bit better than before. And then I started to step in again. So you see here, these are all English, right? And let's play some of these videos.
About your house. We tidy your space, we tidy your money, we also tidy your time, your priorities, energy,
Okay.
when everything feels light.
Basically, when I look at the videos, the quality has been improved from before, but you still seem a little bit not confident there. I think it was because of her English. So I asked her, honey, who's your current client right now? I get that you're trying to attract an international audience, but like right now, who's paying you? And she says, well, they're all Malaysians. And I'm like, okay, if they're all Malaysians, why don't you just create the content in Malay, the local language? So she was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna reshoot the whole thing that I've done in English into Malay, her local language. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is when things really picked up for her. So if you look here, this is the part where she made content in English. And up here is when she started to make content in the local language. She seems
Let's
like
be
a
in
friend
control.
that everybody
Let's be the
could.
queen in control.
She just blew up. So she kept going, owning that unique gap that only she can fill, making more content in the local language where she's really confident and happy to make. And then I texted her, it's like, hey, I saw you blew up and that's really amazing. But how's the business? Are people converting into clients? And she said, yeah. So I asked her, all right, so what's your funnel? Like, how does it work? So allow me to share. So on Instagram, she creates reels and stories. And on stories, you can put a link. And here it will bring them to a workshop. So the workshop could be free or paid. And when people get value from this workshop, she invite them to a call where she sells her high ticket coaching. This is the path for her to get her high ticket coaching. It's very simple, nothing complicated. But none of this would ever happen if she just kept making generic content just like everybody else. She found her unique gap that only she can fill and make content that is resonating with her target audience that she actually enjoys making. Then the rest just flows. So the moral of this story is you're probably following some sort of content guru right now. They tell you, oh, do this content strategy, do this funnel and all this jazz. And that worked for that guy, but it may not work for you. So fundamentally, before you even touch any content or all these weird funnel strategy, the number one thing to do is figure out what makes you unique in your niche. And often you can get this uniqueness from your backstory. How did you get started doing the thing that you're doing now? What was the trigger point? So your uniqueness lies somewhere within your backstory, but it's very hard to see because you're living too close to your own story, so you can't see it. So you need somebody to help extract it out of you. So now you know the fundamentals of content creation for business owners, which is not to have a content strategy, but to figure out what makes you unique in the first place. So if you want to see how the personal branding, the funnel, the content strategy, how everything ties together to get you high ticket coaching clients and opportunities, you can watch this video next.